Welcome to RV and Travel Adventures. This is Jesus Manuel Menegares. I hope you're doing fantastic wherever you are. Today's temperature in Fort Worth, Texas is supposed to be 105 degrees. That's rather toasty, don't you think? And this is only the first week of June. You can imagine July and August here in Fort Worth, Texas. Muy caliente. Calientísimo. Okay? So that's why I'm always having a little beverage once in a while. Trying to keep cool, trying to keep myself hydrated. Gotta keep hydrated. If you don't stay hydrated, you can suffer from heat prostration here in Texas. Of course, I'm very jealous of all you folks in cooler climes, Minnesota, Oregon, Northern California, Maine, places like that. England. I wish I was in England right now. So I just wanted to report on my very recent trip to Port O'Connor, Texas, where I did some camping for 5 days with full hookups, pull-through site, electricity, water, sewage right there, and of course, Wi-Fi. Wow! Wi-Fi. I've never had Wi-Fi anywhere I've gone, and I've camped about a dozen times in my travel trailer, and very nice. And of course, I've done some truck bed camping. I've never had Wi-Fi. Zero Wi-Fi. So I was really spoiled by this trip to, again, Port O'Connor RV Park, where they had Wi-Fi. And it was fast Wi-Fi. So I was watching movies, and I was watching the news. I was catching up on things and watching various streaming channels. Watching YouTube, of course. So I really got spoiled at Port O'Connor RV Park. And again, I was paying down there. What was I paying? I was paying $40 a night, and I stayed on it 5 nights, so that's $200. The gas that I purchased at about $4.50 a gallon to go the 6 hours there and 6 hours back, I spent about $400 on gas. Yeah, that's a lot of money on gas. And then my wife and I, for incidentals like buying some fish and chips or an ice cream cone, bait for when I was going fishing, approximately $100, just rounded up to about $100. So we spent about $400, $500, $700 for this little 5-day camping trip to Port O'Connor, Texas. We also went to Rockwood and other points in between. What a great area to travel. If you're into fishing, if you're into beach activities like having a picnic on the beach, or just going in the water, just relaxing, just cooling off, enjoying the ocean and floating in the ocean. My wife really likes to float in the ocean, and I like to catch fish off the various, piers and stuff like that. It was a lot of fun. So again, it ended up being around $700. If I stayed a whole week, they have a weekly rate of $175 plus electricity. So I actually paid more. I paid $200 for 5 days. I could have paid $175 for 7 days plus electricity, but who knows? I wasn't going to stay there for a whole week. I just stay there for 5 days. For a month, they got a really good deal over there at Port O'Connor RV Park. $375 plus electricity and plus other expenses if you get a special side or something and do all kinds of crazy stuff. So it starts off at $375 for a month. Okay, that's a good price, don't you think? Especially for beachfront. Not necessarily beachfront. They're about 2 miles from the beach, close to the beach, RV camping. So I saw a lot of folks. Who leave their RVs there, and they have a little bit of infrastructure on them, like stairs, their barbecue pits, they have, fire pits, they have, chairs and stuff like that. And they're not there. They basically have their vacation property in Port O'Connor, Texas. And they paying, they're $375, maybe $400 a month, and they have a vacation property in Port O'Connor, Texas. Again, what people do in Port O'Connor, Texas, is they go fishing. That's the big selling point of Port O'Connor, Texas. Fishing. You can get redfish. You can get all kinds of, sea trout and flounder, and the list goes on and on and on. Drum. They got some great fishing down there. You can go do some sailing. You can just do some boating. you can get on your jet ski and just have a great time, or just hang out in the water. So it's a great vacation, location. And of course they have from Houston all the way to the tip of Padre Island, South Padre Island. There's a lot of places to hang out, enjoy yourself, and have a great time. I'm looking forward to going to South Padre Island and checking out down there and enjoying it down there. Maybe that's my next beach vacation. Some of you out there just don't mind parking next to a river or next to a prairie, and you say, man, this is living. But I got used to living in San Jose, California, being 25, 50 miles away from the beach. I would just go from San Jose, go over the Santa Cruz Mountains, and then go to the beach. And if I wanted to go to the mountains, I'd go to the Santa Cruz Mountains, go to places like Ben Lomond, do some trout fishing in the mountains, among the forest. Or I can go to a little bit further down, go to Santa Cruz, go to Carmel, go to Monterey, go to SoCal. The list goes on. Half Moon Bay, go up to all the way to San Francisco. Fantastic. Everything was nearby. San Jose to San Francisco, less than 50 miles. The beach, less than 50 miles. Everything was close by. But over here, I had to spend $400 to get to the beach. It's rather expensive. So that's my little report. I wanted to say I really enjoyed my trip to Port O'Connor, Texas. I plan to go back. They're very nice people down there. Beth and her husband are very nice at Port O'Connor RV Park. I really like it. Maybe we'll go to South Padre Island, do some camping down there. Or maybe we might go to Port Aransas and go camping down there. We did check out Rockport, and I did notice that quite a few of the campgrounds down there were in disrepair. They weren't in great shape. Like at Port O'Connor RV Park, the sites and the people staying at the sites were super well kept. I mean, they were immaculate. I mean, I was impressed. I go, wow, this is nice. People actually have pride in rentership. So, but when I went down to those, places over there in Rockport, I was rather disappointed. I go, man, this looks like almost like a homeless shelter. It was pretty bad shape. It's very bad shape. But again, there's this. You can have a crappy experience at an RV park, or you can have an exceptional experience at an RV park. I look forward to going to Destin, Florida. They have some very nice parks down there. I would love to go camping down there. Of course, I have to reserve it 11 months in advance. I've passed by many a time when I lived in Southern California, going back home to the Bay Area, along Highway 101 and Highway 1. I would see all these beautiful campgrounds. Of course, they were always booked 11 months in advance. A lot of these folks that rent these, these spots, they do it every year. Oh, it's June. We better reserve or July. We better reserve our campsite for June of next year. 11 months in advance. I have a site that I like, with a view that I like, at this fantastic state park that I love, and we're going to reserve it in Destin, Florida, or in Santa Barbara, California. The list goes on and on. In Texas, Port O'Connor, Texas, I did not have problems. There was a lot of empty spaces, and it's not as upscale as those other areas, and not as white sandy as those other areas. But it's still very, very nice. The only way I could improve my fun quotient at Port O'Connor, Texas, is if I had a boat. If I had a boat, I would have gone out there and caught me some fish. I would have sat there all day. Of course, I would have to wear a hat and the SPF 2000 shirt and the SPF 50 T-shirt under it, and my SPF 50 short pants and my SPF socks. The list goes on. Maybe even gloves, and slather myself with suntan lotion. So, to go fishing. I've always had the experience when I go fishing out in the ocean, I always get a bit of a sunburn, so I have to be careful of that. Even though I'm a medium complexion sort of dude, I still have to be very, very, very careful. Hope you're doing fantastic wherever you're at. Thanks for watching my video. This has been Jesus Manuel Mena Garza. Don't forget to like, subscribe, and share. I would greatly appreciate it. And if you have the time, while I'm drinking a little bit of beverage here, if you have the time, don't forget to leave your kind and super friendly, super brilliant, because you're a brilliant person. We already know that. Brilliant comments below. Abajo. Muchos gracias. And if you have the time, check out my Patreon page, patreon.com/JMMGarza. Participate in my Patreon program. I need all the help I can get, okay? I'm trying to save up money to get a boat. I need a big boat. I'm not as big as, some of the people I've been in communication with on YouTube. They have big boats. I just want a small boat, maybe a 20-footer. Maybe I should get a 20-footer. What kind of boat do you think I should get if I want to go fishing in the bay, over there by Port Aransas? Hope you're doing fantastic wherever you're at. Gracias. Adios. Bye-bye.